Sarah Jennings, a recent history graduate with a particular interest in American colonial history, moved into an old apartment that was once part of an extensive estate from the 17th century. The estate was historically significant, once owned by Judge Hawthorne, a notorious figure in the witch trials. Drawn to the mystique of her new home, Sarah was excited to explore its secrets, but she was unprepared for the way the past would intertwine with her present. Upon moving in, Sarah was captivated by the old-world charm of the apartment. It was nestled in the servants' quarters of the old estate, with thick stone walls that seemed to whisper of centuries gone by. The apartment was filled with niches and alcoves, many of which Sarah eagerly explored as she settled in. Her fascination turned to unease, however, as strange occurrences began to unfold. Books inexplicably falling from shelves, sudden cold drafts, and unsettling sounds of chains and distant weeping at night. Intrigued and somewhat alarmed, Sarah delved into local archives to learn more about the estate's history. She discovered that during the witch trials, Judge Hawthorne had been particularly ruthless, responsible for many unjust accusations. His paranoia had been legendary, his justice swift and merciless. The more Sarah learned, the more she felt the weight of history pressing close within her home. During one of her explorations of the basement used for storage, Sarah uncovered a hidden room behind a false wall. Inside was a small wooden chest containing personal belongings, among them a diary belonging to Abigail, a young servant who had lived and worked in the estate during Hawthorne's tenure. The diary was a window into the past, filled with entries that captured Abigail's fears and hopes. As Sarah read, she was drawn into the young woman's world, feeling her growing terror as she became a target of the judge's suspicions. The entries became a mix of prayers and pleas, culminating in a heart-wrenching account of Abigail's arrest and her fears of impending doom. The last entry was abruptly cut off, adding to the ominous tone. As Sarah immersed herself in Abigail's story, the paranormal activity in the apartment intensified. She experienced vivid dreams where she saw through Abigail's eyes, walking towards the gallows, feeling the rough hemp of the noose. She would wake from these nightmares feeling a profound sadness, and often the room would be significantly colder. Determined to help Abigail find peace, Sarah used her position at the local museum to set up an exhibit detailing the lives of those like Abigail who were persecuted during the trials. She included excerpts from the diary, aiming to humanize the victims and illustrate the tragic consequences of hysteria and fear. The exhibition received significant attention. Local schools brought students, and historians appreciated the personal touch Sarah's research brought to a well-trodden subject. On the night of the exhibition's opening, Sarah felt a palpable shift in her apartment. The air seemed lighter, the oppressive feelings of dread lifted, and for the first time, she heard what she believed to be Abigail's voice, whispering a heartfelt, "Thank you." Following the success of the exhibit, Sarah felt a newfound connection to her home. She continued to live there, the disturbances ceased, and she often thought she felt Abigail's presence, not as a specter of sorrow, but as a guardian spirit. Sarah wrote a book about her experiences, intertwining her personal journey with the historical account of the witch trials. Her book touched on themes of injustice, redemption, and the power of memory. She remained in the apartment, respectful of its history and mindful of the lessons it had taught her about the depths of human fear and the redemptive power of uncovering the truth.